Well, hello everybody, Natalie here. Natalie and the little tiny cutie pie, Heartsy. Heartsy! Say hi, Heartsy. This is the little somatic self. So, I'm just going to hold that little somatic self right here because we're going to do a little bit of training. Okay? Participants of this program, thank you so much. Self-Compassionate Care, NatalieVescoviPoirier.com. So today, this book is incredible. Polyvagal exercises for safety and connection. They're client-centered practices. Deb Dana is an incredible therapist, author, teacher. And I fell upon her work after training, taking workshops with Peter Levine. And I learned about Peter from Anadea Judith, Sacred Centers, working in the chakra system, and then I was really interested in the trauma and the armoring up as an undergrad in social work, and looking at our skin from an esthetician's point because I could see people having like locked trauma in their skin and their energy, and I learned that from my Reiki master and my spiritual intuitive healer training, and so then I learned about the chakras. And the chakras, right, they're just this energy centers, not they're just, they are, and so awesome. These energy centers that as we develop really emanate, and they are right behind the nerve ganglia that attaches to our nervous system. So I was really drawn to Peter Levine, and then Peter Levine's mentee, Stephen Porges, who developed and created the polyvagal theory. So Deb Dana has a variety of books. I loved this. I love all of them, but this book here, I practice some of them and feel like they're very therapeutic. Show your therapist if you're working with therapists. I, as a chakra teacher, a skin therapist, and an energy healer, energy work, also a wellness specialist. I work with just really helping your energy feel good and looking at different ways that we can move stuff. So I'm using this in a way of just experiencing it and playing with it and developing new connections to yourself. So that's where I come from. I don't claim myself as a medical professional. We're doing this for fun. That's my disclaimer. My background is in, holistic modalities and touch therapy, reflexology, acupressure, Reiki, all skin therapies. I have a master's in my certificate training aesthetics, and I am also a cosmetologist by trade so that I could have my own spa, but I learned so much about the scalp because from my childhood trauma, major psoriasis, and so the trauma piece is where I started developing and working with the understanding of social work. And I've done a lot of therapeutic processes in all different areas of humanity. So here I'm showing up in self-compassionate care training as a fun experiential journey. So today I'm just inviting you to just practice this exercise. So the credit is given to Deb Dana, Peter Levine, Stephen Porges, and Anadea Judith showed me all these awesome trainings. And to Natalie Vescovi-Poirier for being here and asking you to just consider this. So this is from this book with Deb Dana, and she talks about doing autonomic alphabets. And so we can notice our state shifts. So here when we think about the 10th cranial nerve, when we're looking at, maybe I'm just going to make it very simple because I have clients who are training and so they can go deeper with this because they've taken hours of workshop training. But here I wanted to make this accessible, that when we look at our nervous system, we have the lowest reaction part of our autonomic nervous system, which is the dorsal energy. And it's like the lower, it's the first developed part where we're really connected with the animals, where we have fight, fold, freeze. When we hear in the dorsal, it's really the possum. The possum freezes and plays dead. Surrender. It believes death is near. It's imminent. Fear really lives here. And so then when we come up to the sympathetic nervous system, that was developed a couple million years after this, first as we're evolving as human beings. And here in the sympathetic nervous system, that's where we're really reactive. It's really fight, right? We're like, so we fight or we run. And so then we come up into the ventral vagus. Here, this is the highest part of our development in evolution as human beings. Here, we are able to, in co-regulation with another person, say, this is my other person, like, I'm really scared, Natalie. Hardy, what's the matter? Oh, ba 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 ba. So, still scared, but in co-regulation, able to be heard, able to be processed. But maybe when you were younger, you couldn't be scared, because maybe, like me, I can say this, I did this totally to my kids, and I thought I was doing the right thing. This is how I was raised. But there's reasons for that. No judgment or blame to my mama. She did the best she could. And I mean that. But we had a terrible trauma. And so if I was to come and say, I'm scared, she'd be like, you're fine. It's good. You've got this. You're going to do this. You're going to do this. You're going to do that. Really like armoring me up. And then, okay, I'm ready. I'm out. But where does the scared go? Where do the feelings go? They get tucked, what, in this locked spot so deep inside the body. So all I'm asking is, I'm not going to rip you apart. No, never. But just to go slow, and just expand out, so you can start learning what it feels like to say, I'm scared. My gosh, it doesn't make me actually want to vomit anymore, but I vomited a lot because of that, because that was so deeply locked within. I was truly scared. I had a reason to be. Great reason. Great reason in my childhood to be scared. But it was never, and I can even say it now, and I'm not crying, but when it first came out, it was like, release the Kraken. So that's what we're learning. And so this video here is just to kind of show you some of the work I do, and a little play work that I'm sharing. So, Autonomic Alphabets, state shifts. And so the state creates, and then the state's experience. So in that way, and I just want to keep this, if you want more during my training, but to keep this like specific, and also for my trainees who are practicing this work today, thank you for doing this. We have the dorsal, the sympathetic, and the ventral. And so examples, we're just going to go through the alphabet. That's what Deb suggests. She also suggests using your name. You can do anything you want. I am just trying to give you an opportunity to get the work that I've been so fortunate to learn and see how you apply it. Maybe you color it, maybe you create it, but these are some of the examples. So when we're in the dorsal, right, that's like very low energy. So examples could be starting with A, B, C, maybe absent, and then B, blank, maybe C, collapsed, maybe D, despair, maybe E, exhausted. We can go on. I can add some of mine. Those are from Deb Dana's examples. Sympathetic. Now we're moving up. So that's like the low energy where you're just like, I've got it, I'm done. There's nothing. Those days you just, I call that a very depressed state. And that's like co-regulation is really needing somebody to say, you okay? Yeah, I'm okay. No, you're not. Showing up and then pulling you back up to the ways in which our nervous system can be relaxed, because we are autonomically, biologically hardwired to belong. I learned this in social work, and I keep learning this in all my training. That's survival, right? You first look at your mother's eyes. Not all of us got to have that. And you're always looking until the day you die. That's how Deb describes it. And even that alone might bring up some emotion for you. And so give yourself a rocking break. Rock. I rock on a ball, always rocking. And notice when you're rocking, maybe that's a way that you're trying to co-regulate yourself. But maybe if you're rocking, you notice it, you could be like, I might need to ask for help. That's hard, but maybe I need something. Maybe it's a phone a friend day. So these are just ways to kind of come in to notice your somatic body, because we're racing so fast through, especially now with everything that's going on in our world, racing so fast through, ripping and roaring and tearing. We're not feeling. We're ripping and roaring and tearing. So I'm saying slow down. coming. So sympathetic. A to Z. Alarmed, buzzing, claustrophobic, deranged, envious. I would say frightened. I would say frantic. I would say frenetic. Okay, so you're getting it. And now ventral. That's when we're co-regulated. So we are maybe still feeling all of these dysregulated feelings, but we're with another person. And even if we're just sitting next to them, maybe you're just sitting together, you're going for a walk. Well, now you can be like, how does that feel? Well, maybe after a little Hardy gets to say, oh, I'm feeling this way, this way, this way. Well, then maybe now after a breath or two, maybe a little bit of spa love that I love to give, a little bit of Reiki, relaxation, a little breathing. It could be like, I feel awesome. I feel like I can breathe. I feel cared for, curious, courageous. I feel devoted. I feel deep. I feel dedicated. So are you getting it? So next, I want you to do your names. Maybe the alphabet, practice the alphabet. I'm asking a lot. Not really, but you're doing this. I want you, this cute little cutie pie, to be with us, leaning on the pillow. See, you're okay. We don't want to leave ourselves. Just notice. Chuck ourselves aside because someone else needs us. Notice if you're like, oh, okay, boom. So this little tiny somatic connection in the training that I offer on my virtual training, I ask you to start creating a relationship with the other, the parts of you. So next, do your name. So I'm going to do my name with you, and then you can do yours. So Natalie. So I'll do Nat, so we can move through this, so that your video is not too long. So Nat. Dorsal. Nothing. Alone. Traumatized. Got it? Okay. Now, sympathetic. Sympathetic I'm usually more comfortable in. Dorsal, because I'm a marathon runner and a fighter and I push. But now that I practice to be gentle, which is really not as challenging anymore for me, but it was. But it's not. It is still kind of, as I told you, big fat liar with PH, chakra 5, right to speak your truth, shadow lies. But I love that about me. Okay, bringing it back. Sympathetic. Nat. Gosh, I want to say nervous. Attacking. See that? Attacking. Because I almost said nasty. Because that's that, right? You're getting it? Okay, great. And then T. Tumultuous. Tenacious. Tricked. I won't get that too into it, but my trainees know. Tricked. Because it's just going to take a long time. Not that I'm trying to withhold from any of you who are not in the program. I just want you to have this bit here from me to you. So now we move up to Nat in ventral. Nice. Attentive. Awesome. Alive. Tender. Tickled. Touched. Thought about. Okay? So now practice. Practice. And then to take it one step further, because of course I'm a pusher, Deb asks us to say if we're in a moment when we're feeling something and we're not sure. So we'll go back to mine. Let's say I'm at a function and I'm seeing some people that maybe are connected to some old wounds, and I've worked on it and I really got it, but as my mother taught me from her long time in recovery, never let yourself get halt. Too hungry, too alone, too lonely, and too tired. So let's just say I'm all halted up. Well, then, even my work, daily practice, I have my humanness. I could just be spent. I'm just too stressed. My body has been too stretched. I don't have enough to come in. And I'm probably not co-regulated. Like I haven't said, which I do now, say to my best friend in the whole world, partner in crime, my husband, John, I'd be like, all right, we're going here. I'm a little worried about this, this, and this. And John, now, we've done so much work together. Yay, us. Thank you, honey. He'll say, okay, so what do you want to do? Let's get a plan. And then having the plan, now I'm co-regulated. So to try to hold that, okay, hold that part. But here, let's say John's relaxing and doing something else and I don't want to bother him. Well, see, that would be my old stuff. But also, if he's in the middle of something or something's going on, how do I hold myself too, knowing that I have him as well? Well, if my autonomic state is feeling nervous, well, now I know. I've got to get into ventral, that I am in sympathetic. I'm like, my system is responding to, and then I can notice what's going on. My body wants to, it's usually run or fight. My body wants to run, excuse me. My brain makes up the story that I'm not safe, that I need to fight, I need to get out. When I review my short story, I say, so in the autonomic state of either dorsal or sympathetic, and I told you I really identify more often with sympathetic. Oh my God, this isn't okay. I'm going to fight. I'm going to defend. Blah, 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 blah. My story is telling me something else, and that story is many, many stories. And so to connect with that, right? Because the state really follows the story. But if we were to come back to here in this work with polyvagal theory, perception without awareness. But if we have perception and we have awareness, then we have discernment. So here, perception, my story is this, awareness. Oh, but if I can bring myself up, know that I could walk over and say, hey, honey, could you come here for a second? Maybe I just need a hug. Maybe I just need, to breathe. Maybe I just need to be if John's still busy, text a friend. I'm at this party. I'm feeling this way and this way. A safe person, someone who's not going to say, oh, suck it up. You got it. Go, keep going. Not that. And I'm not saying that you have to push away everybody in your life. What I'm saying is right now as you're working through this, a safe person would be someone who's done some of this work that might say, okay, practice your 639 breathing. That's why even in my program, I made a companion guide for you, but also just a complimentary companion for co-regulation, a little 2 sheets that I'm asking you to give to one of your friends. And so just say, I need you to help me with these 3 things. If you want to practice a little, that's just from Natalie to me to you. But a person that can say something to you, breathe, sigh, wiggle your body, stretch, get up, get a glass of water, or just put your hand on your heart, put your hand behind your neck. That's that heart-face connection. Maybe you're touching. Then come back. Here we go. Ready? I'm feeling nervous. I've done these things. I come back in. My autonomic state was feeling a little nicer now. My system is responding to the fact that I gave myself some attention. My body wants to get more of that. It felt good. My brain makes up the story that I'm okay now because I noticed my states, I used my alphabet, I connected to my name, I did this all pretty quietly, so I'm safe here, but I needed another person, so I either text or I walked over to my husband who loves me so much, who understands, even though he knows I'm totally safe in this, that there are parts of me that don't feel safe for whatever reason. It's from my past, and it's here now. And maybe there are some people that might say certain things like, suck it up, get over it, do whatever, that could really trigger me. And that I'm practicing this work so that I can actually have less charge, so that I don't necessarily always put myself in places where people are going to talk like that to me anymore. Or if someone does say something like that to me about sucking it up, I could say something in a happy, nice place that I'm not jumping out of myself. I could say, here we go, we're going to practice. When I review my short story, I notice, oh, I've sucked it up for so long, and that's why I've been able to survive some really rough things in my life. So I don't know if I really feel like suck it up is right for me right now, but I'm going to get a glass of water. Do you want one? Now I can still stay with people that I love, but I can stay with me first because I'm protected in my own self-love. But I'm also co-regulated in the partner that I set up, I asked for help with. Make sense? I stretched it out quite a bit. There's even a little bit more. One more bit. The reflection exercise. Whenever I feel, and there's the emotion, this is from Sacred Centers and Anadea's training, whenever I feel, you'll just stay with me, nervous, I think that belief, I'm not safe. It makes me want to run away or fight to protect myself. It feels connected to past experience, my childhood trauma. So then, doing all this work, I always ask you, right? Practice, move things out. Maybe we come in with a few ventral vagal connections, right? Say, I'll use NAT again, 3 letters. And whenever I feel, I had nervous, so I'm going to put on the other side, shaking it out. Feel nice, feel interesting. The ends right now. You probably have a whole bunch like, come on, Natalie, I'm singing. I could say whenever I feel Natalie, whenever I feel new, whenever I feel needed. I like feeling needed. Okay. Whenever I feel nice, I think that I'm okay. It makes me want to do more of what I'm doing. It feels connected to my self-compassionate care, my nervous system, my self-love, my giving myself a rocking break, giving myself more me. So there you have it. There's some polyvagal work. Thank you, Deb Dana, and we're bringing it all in. We've got the social work. We're in social working connection. We've got the wellness because we're breathing, we're moving our body, we're noticing ourselves. Whenever I feel noticed, that's it. Not needed, even though needed is great too. Whenever I feel noticed, that's the one. I think that I'm okay. I used to not feel that way. It makes me want to be noticed in leadership, be noticed in common sense, be noticed in realness, be noticed in honor, be noticed in love, being noticed in vulnerability with options for power with. It makes me want to keep learning, keep growing, keep moving, keep listening, keep hearing, keep connecting. It feels connected to my life. It feels connected to my deep care for wanting to help people, because that's what I do. I help people, and people helped me. And for all of you out there that helped me, my beautiful family of origin, my beautiful adopted family, the Floricks, my beautiful Poirier family, my husband who I love so much, my children, the angels, my clients, my friends, my guides, the chakras, the skin, and Natalie, me. And that's when I ask you to get your little somatic self. Create something. Make a box. Make a person. I have a whole bunch here. This is another one for one of my beautiful clients. A little rainbow llama. I'm going to put the little rainbow llama inside the little heart. Little Heartsy. Because Heartsy's got a lot of energy today. Been really well taken care of. And I want you to put yourself in here first. And then the work is give yourself an effing break, but I'm starting to like give yourself a rocking break. That second chakra, our hips, right? Feet on the ground, we rock our hips, pelvic, rocking back and forth. That's what I'm doing right now. The right to our own needs, the shadow is guilt. Second chakra, angel. Love the second chakra. I'm saying namaste to y'all today. And so I hope you enjoyed this little tidbit training webinar. I think I'm going to actually put it on my website. I like it. I like how it came out. And I want to thank you, all of the wonderful people who have taught me so much. And still, the webinars are available. Deb Dana, Peter Levine, Anadea Judith, Stephen Porges. Incredible. And I bring work also from Lowen, Bioenergetics. And although he is no longer in this energy plane, he is... his work is all around and is amazing. And so I'll put this all on the bottom of this YouTube video. And to really think about how you feel, your autonomic state shifts. Because if you're feeling something that's not working, you can do a few breaths. You can do some closed eyes visualization. And maybe you make a bracelet. Maybe you carry a stone. Maybe it's a favorite item of clothing. For me, I have some tattoos. And you come back. But often, even with my tattoos and all my stuff, my trauma is so deep down daily, I find myself on the battlefield and I need to go get that little girl. She's waving a white flag of surrender and she's covered in blood and guts because she's such a fighter. And I scoop her up and I thank her. I don't shame her anymore. I say, I got you now. Sometimes it was years that I didn't catch myself. So I'm really, really comfortable with every day. So I'm asking you to just come on in. Practice some yoga. Yoga really is the map, as Anadea says, and the chakras are the keys. And I ask you to not go alone, to really go find you. Ask for somebody to hold your hand. And as a beautiful friend of mine has said, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go further, go together. Namaste.